We're now joined by the mayor of the second largest and most populated city in the great state of New Jersey, Steve Fulop. Hey, Mayor, how you doing?
Good to see you, Steve. Good to be back on.
Yeah, Mayor Baraka and Newark asked me to just introduce you that way. Is that okay?
Obviously, I'm not surprised, but we'll see when the census comes out at the end of August.
Oh, yeah, by the way, we're taping on the 22nd of June. I may have outdated myself in a lot of ways right there. Hey, Mayor, help us understand this. Right now, jump into COVID. We'll do economic development in a second. Right now, as we do this program, if I'm not mistaken, 46% of the people in Hudson County are fully vaccinated. What does that mean, A, in Jersey City, a part of Hudson County, in terms of a whole range of things, economic issues, school issues, business, et cetera? Talk to us, Mayor.
Yeah, I mean, we're over 50% here in Jersey City. Our team has done a really good job. You see businesses obviously reopening, not only reopening, but, being filled to capacity at restaurants, which is nice. And you see senior events getting back together, recreation events happening. So it's going to be a great summer, I think. And we're just going to continue on the path of educating people, but also getting back to some degree of normalcy.
Economics. It's interesting. The Biden administration selected Jersey City to participate in what's called local foods, local places. What is it and why does it matter?
Yeah, I mean, it's about solving for food deserts. So, similar to Newark or Camden or Patterson, you have big gaps between who has access to what kind of foods. And so, the Biden administration is looking to bridge that divide. And we were selected as one of those cities. So we've done a lot about, food options and outreach, and we're just going to continue to do that.
Let me try this. Journal Square. For those who don't know what Journal Square is, for all the years I've going in, coming out of the path right to Journal Square, not everyone's done that. And it's evolved over time. What is Journal Square in Jersey City? A, B, what's going on there that matters not just to Jersey City, but the economy of this region?
Yeah, so Journal Square once upon a time was kind of the heart of the city. It's going to be the heart of the city again. We have huge amount of development there. So I think 13,000 units under construction, but it's more than just residential development. We have some major cultural and entertainment venues happening. So we have the Lowe's Theater, which is a 3,000 seat Wonder Theater that was born in 1929. That's a partnership with the New Jersey Devils to be opened in 2025. It'll be a huge venue in the New York market. And then we have the Center Pompidou, which is one of the more significant museums in the world, coming from Paris and opening a satellite location in Jersey City. So we'll be joining Brussels, Shanghai, and of course, Paris as locations that'll showcase some of the greatest art that was ever created.
Yeah, go back. When I saw that on NJ Spotlight News, the story about, it's the Pompidou, I'm going to say it right? Pompidou, I apologize, the Pompidou Center. How the heck does Jersey City get connected to Brussels and all these other international cities?
I mean, a couple of years ago, we acquired a building on top of the Journal Square path, and it was slated for residential development. And I thought it just had an opportunity to really be something special on a cultural front because it's on top of mass transit. It's got really good bone structure. It's in the New York media market. I thought Jersey City had a good story to tell. So we started down the road of finding potential partners. People were skeptical whether we would actually be able to exercise what I actually articulated at the time. But, we've outperformed. We've done more than we initially expected, and I think that anybody expected. It'll be one of the largest and most significant satellite museums in the country, and it'll be bringing hundreds of thousands of people to Jersey City on the tourism front per year.
Steve, let me ask you, as mayor of Jersey City, I don't think people understand, excuse me, exactly what the mayor's job is. And Jersey City is no small city. As you talked about, it may become at some point the most populated city in the state. Is there a so-called typical day in your life as mayor?
No, first of all, I love this job. I think it's the best job in government or politics because you're close to residents and you have an opportunity to really make meaningful change, which you don't really have at different levels of government. So every day is different. We're dealing with, some real tough things, whether it be a mass shooting or a regular shooting or a fire issue, to the pandemic, to healthy diets, as we said earlier, to recreation programs, to thinking about what the city is going to be in 10, 15, 20 years from now. So every day is different. It kind of keeps you on its toes, but it's really the best job and one that I'm really thankful that people have given me the opportunity to do.
Yeah, it's interesting. You talk about crime, a horrific incident in Jersey City, but I want to connect it to the larger question of crime. So economic development, economic activity, it's not commentary or analysis. It's just a fact that is tied in many ways to people's perception of safety, or how safe they are or are not. So here's my question. What are your views, Mayor, of those who argue as it relates to the issues connected to police interactions with the minority community, which have been well documented, and clearly police reform is long overdue? Defunding the police, what does that mean to you, and what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, look, we've been vocal from the beginning that, we're not going to defund our police. Our police play a critical role in keeping our city safe. And that's not to say that reforms aren't possible. We've been at the forefront of that conversation. We've been working very closely with the mayor of Newark on the CCRB, which is a civilian oversight review board.
The review board, right.
Yeah. So look, the police here in Jersey City have done a terrific job. And over the last several years, we've seen a historic decrease in crime. And that's in no small part because of the job that the JCPD does every day. People, like to throw around a lot of expressions around defund the police, or the police should be doing that or doing this. But, in a given year, the JCPD takes 300 illegal guns off the street. Generally, they do that without an incident or a shot fired. And all of those 300 illegal guns, the holder or owner of them has intentions of doing something illegal with them. Thus, it's an illegal gun. And it's an amazing thing that the JCPD does every single year. They're not perfect, but they're really important to keeping the city safe. And we're going to continue to support them when they do right. And at the same time, do what we've been doing, which is, be a disciplinarian when they do wrong.
Real quick, before I let you go, Mayor. The Jersey City Public Schools, will the students, we're taping on the 22nd of June, will your students be all in person in September?
Look, it's an autonomous entity, obviously, the elected
Board of
public schools,
Education,
but
elected board
of Education. Yeah, but the hope is, yes, I think that everybody wants to see them back in person, and that's where learning happens. And the one thing we've seen over the last year is that the gap between the kids that have more resources financially versus the kids that don't has only widened. So we need the schools back in person so that everybody can have the same opportunity to learn.
You know what, Mayor? Why don't we have you and your colleague and friend, Raz Baraka, the mayor of the great city of Newark, together, not to debate population figures, but to talk about a whole range of issues you have in common and how you see the challenges that each one of you face as mayor. Why don't we do that? Because you wind up talking behind each other's backs when you're on with me, and that's just not good.
Look, I'd love to. He and I talk several times a week. We share a lot of ideas. It would be a great thing to have that sort of conversation in person.
By the way, for people who don't realize, I was joking. They do not talk behind each other's backs. Mayor Steve Fulop of Jersey City, thank you so much, Steve. Great
Steve,
having you with us again. I'm Steve Adubato. That's the mayor of Jersey City. See you next time.
State of Affairs with Steve Adubato is a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by the Turrell Fund, supporting Reimagine Childcare, New Jersey Sharing Network, the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, PNC, Grow Up Great, Holy Name Medical Center, Choose New Jersey, TD Bank, Rowan University, Operating Engineers, Local 825, and by these public-spirited organizations, individuals, and associations committed to informing New Jersey citizens about the important issues facing the Garden State, and by Employers Association of New Jersey. Promotional support provided by AM 970 The Answer, and by NorthJersey.com and Local IQ, part of the USA Today network.
New Jersey's early educators and childcare providers are more than twice as likely to live below the poverty line versus the general workforce. Reimagine Childcare, formed by a coalition in New Jersey, is dedicated to improving accessibility, affordability, and quality of childcare and reimagining the way we support these essential providers. Learn more by visiting reimaginechildcare.org.